It's so great that you're back out on tour. I actually sure that it's going to be a really emotional night. Like getting to see you live again. It's just been such a long time. So Cal and I are really looking forward to this Thursday. It's going to be
Oh,
sick.
yeah, that's gonna be great. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to you guys too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much the first proper tour I've done in 5 years.
That's
So it's,
amazing.
I thought it'd be a bit more emotional for me too, maybe, but I think because I'm just taking it so slow
Mm.
and so easy, like this re-entry back into playing live. And I wanted to give myself a challenge, which was doing it on my own and playing, like I play for over an hour, I play for about an hour and a half
Wow.
on my own and then just chat. So it's a totally different show to Preachers. Very, very different gear.
Yeah, it would be. Have there been any realizations taking on this more intimate approach? And especially after not doing anything for 5 years? Sorry, not doing anything live or tours wise. Sorry, didn't mean to say it like that.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah, there've been a few. I think the biggest one is that I I think my biggest fear becoming a parent was that I wouldn't care about the work as much. I
Mm.
wouldn't care about music as much. And that did happen in a sense. So I guess I faced that fear in the first 6 months to a year of my daughter being born. I really felt that stripping away of an old ego or parts of myself that, were or had to be dissolved to become a reliable, mature person and adult for her. But also, I think just being back on the road, it's reminded me that this is what I love. And
Yeah.
I'm really, I really love being on stage and I really love performing and I love storytelling. I love being there with people. And it doesn't really matter if there've been some shows on this tour where there've been 15 people in the audience
Yeah.
or 20 people, and in some ways it's harder than performing for 20,000 people.
Yeah.
It's a completely different gear shift, I think, as a performer. And my realization is that I fucking love it. I love it.
That's
I
so
love it so
good.
much. It's been nice. It's been nice to come back and go, oh no, this is where I'm meant to be.
Yeah.
This is what I love to do.
And the thing is, you didn't really transition, right, from Preachers to Isabella Manfredi. You really had to restart because, I mean, between that, there was COVID, you went and had a little baby, and just so much happened. So, has it been overwhelming or frustrating having to go through that whole process again?
There's a lot of there's a mixed bag of feelings, and I
Mm.
try and own all of them about the process. There's a lot of I think there's a lot of disappointment and a lot of grief in separating from the band because I love that side of myself and I
Mm.
loved performing as a group. I definitely miss it, and I definitely missed it trying to take another band out on the road. It made me realize I was like, I need to be so intentional about who I'm playing with and how I do these shows because I can't just go out on the road and take another band out. That was by far more emotional for me. But doing it on my own, performing that is on my own, it's just really satisfying.
Mm.
And if I ever come back to a group and if the Preachers ever got back together, I would be able to bring that back to any group. So I think it's been a really healthy, necessary move for me to make. And, most of the industry, sorry, I'm just waxing
Go
on
for
about
it,
this.
please.
I think a lot about the industry, and I remember saying this to my manager, 5 years ago, was it now, or 4 years ago?
Yeah.
Um, when I wrote a lot of the songs off this album, I started to realize I had a solo record. like, I think I have a solo record.
Mm.
And his first question was, well, how many capacity venues would you want to be playing? Which I thought was a really weird question.
That's a
It's like, well,
crazy question and a lot of pressure.
a lot of pressure, but also that's how the industry functions. It functions on perceived momentum and, a hierarchy of like, you're in and then you're out and then you're hot and then you're not hot and then you've got a career and then you don't have a career. And it can feel very all or nothing and very black and white. And I think what this process has allowed me to do is develop myself in my own time, which might not look as great to other people, or great to the industry, or like I have lots of momentum or whatever. But what it actually is me just developing the way I want to develop at my own pace.
Yeah.
Which is really important, especially for right now, because I've got a young child who I want to spend as much time with as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. So it would have been, sorry, this is the last time I'm going to go back to the ancient history of the Preachers, but I'm just curious because when it all came out that you guys were breaking up, it was kind of like we got the note screenshot saying that, you were going on to do your own thing, which was awesome. But then there was a lot of silence, and obviously you were going through a lot of different things and processing some very hard truths. What was it like having, or not having to be quiet, but having to take a step back and deal with all of that so that you could come back in?
Yeah, it was a lot. It happened gradually. Jack and I split up, and then about a year and a bit after that, I decided to leave the band and started to tell sort of people in our circle, and I guess the word got out within the community, not really the public yet, that we had split. And it was only then that people started coming to me and being honest about his behavior when we were together. And it was just fucking devastating for me at that point, because I just didn't realize, and I didn't know the depth of the betrayal. And it was just such a for any partner who's been in that position, people assume that people just assume that you're like, oh, you must have known that they were cheating or doing this or being this and being unfaithful and being deceptive. And that is part of I guess the grief of it as well, is that you're like, oh my God, people thought that, and people think that I'm complicit in this.
Yeah.
That's not me.
No, of
And
course.
so it was a bit of a double whammy. And then I was processing all of that, and also, processing that I wanted to have a family and creating a safe home for my new partner and now my husband. But look, it just happened. It had a real divine timing about it, I think. Happened at the right time. It happened when I was in a safe environment with somebody who I really trusted, and he could hold me through that. And yeah, it sucked, really sucked. I can't really put it any other way. But at the same time, if that hadn't have happened, I wouldn't be where I am now. I wouldn't have my family. I wouldn't have this new solidity that I have. So it's difficult when confronting any big change and any big, I guess, tragedy that happens to you, because it always leads you to somewhere where it was unexpected, or you couldn't imagine. So yeah, there was a bit to process. And then I naturally took a bit of time off and out, not just because of personal things, but also because of the contractual and financial and business side of things.
Yeah.
Just parallel to that had also shit had totally hit the fan.
Oh,
there was
that's so
there was
rough.
yeah, there was a lot of stuff. And that all happened probably, yeah, what was the timing of that? So that would have been like 6 months before COVID, or around the same time as the pandemic was happening. It's hard to, it's a
Yeah.
bit of a blur, but it was all like, again, good timing.
Yes.
Bad stuff, but good timing for it to happen.
Yeah, definitely. But now you're
So
back
when
on
it
tour. Yeah.
now I'm back on tour, and yeah, when it came time for me to release my solo stuff, I just, there were basically two roads to take. One was the tried and true way of most performers is the don't complain, don't explain, which I totally get, and I understand why people do it, because you can really vulnerability yourself into a corner
Yeah.
sometimes. But it just didn't feel right for me to come out and say, oh, I've just moved on. That's what I've done. And it's my decision. And, because it just didn't feel true.
Mm.
So yeah, but I don't mind talking about it, because it's part of who I am. And I love the Preachers. I'll always love the band. It's my work and it's my legacy.
It's a bloody great legacy, that's for sure. So, are we going to be hearing any of the Preachers songs on this tour?
Yeah, I play, what am I playing in the set at the moment? I take requests at the end of the show. Although some, I mean, don't expect that I'm going to play everything, because some of the songs that I can't technically play are a little hard. But I play Your Fan, I play Is This How You Feel? I play Two Tone Melody. I play, what else do I play? I've played Ordinary, some of the shows. And there's one other one I know, but I'm forgetting. Business, yeah. So
Yeah.
I bring out the ballads and play some of the songs that were just mine, like Your Fan and Two Tone were just my songs.
Yeah. I'm really excited to hear Jealousy and Naive and all of these new songs though too, because they have such a like disco and um, exciting instrumental parts. So it'll be really cool to hear them stripped back with just piano and vocals.
Yeah, it's been nice for me to get back to basics and back to the musicality, because I spent so many years just being the energetic front woman and running around being a maniac. So it's nice for me to just sit and actually get into the songs again. Especially because a lot of them started just on keys. A lot of those Preacher songs were started off with, with me sitting at the keys and playing around with something. So it's nice. It's nice in that sense. Not all the songs on the record have made the live set for this show, because
Yeah,
it would be
right.
too long otherwise. And there's some unexpected omissions, but for the most part, it's yeah, they all translate really well.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Now you've got Miley Grace alongside you on this journey. What's it been like sharing that with her?
I love her.
Yeah.
She's so awesome. Have you heard her play
No,
before?
no, I haven't. I haven't. I need to.
She's fab. Yeah, she's really good songwriter. Great lyricist. Very laid back, beautiful, confident presence, which I'm really enjoying having that energy on the tour. And she's also a mum. She's got 2 kids. She had very early in her 20s. So we're kind of at different stages. Like her kids are grown, and
Yeah.
she's now back into music, and I'm kind of at the start of that journey. But yeah, she's awesome. She usually plays in a band, and she's supported Warpaint, done like quite a lot of big gigs up there just recently, up in Northern Rivers where she's from. And yeah, I'm just excited for people to hear her songs, because again, it's like when you play in a band, a lot of that energy is what people go and see you for. But then when you actually are able to listen to somebody just playing the songs in that stripped back way,
Yeah.
you always hear something different that you never heard before and never realized about the song. So it's a great way to go and see artists, I think, and always very special.
I think I read a little while back that, is this your last tour and then, for the moment, and then you're going over to the US to live? Is that right?
Yeah, so me and my family are actually moving to San Francisco for a couple of
Yeah.
years. Well, sort of indefinitely. I don't know how long I'm going to be over there for.
Okay, we're just going to put it out to the universe that you will be back to live.
I'll be back.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be back. I'll be back to play shows. I just don't
Cool.
know when that will be. You know, there's kind of no plan.
Mm.
And I don't know if I'll ever tour this record again. I don't know if
Wow.
just don't know. It's very, very up in the air at the moment. So I'm putting it out there that it's kind of the last, but the first and also the last time in a little while.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's cool. That's cool. So, why are you moving to the US? What's behind that choice?
My husband's got a job over there,
That's awesome.
and they've asked him to come, and it's great for me for music. It's just the best place to be at the moment.
Yeah.
There's so much happening on the West Coast, and I've got lots and lots of friends. And you know, most of my friends who are Aussies and musicians are in LA, so it's really good for me.
Totally.
I don't really want to raise a kid in LA either, so it's a bit of the best of both worlds. And we get to have an adventure before Mina gets any older.
I can't wait to watch you thrive over there. It's going to be awesome. When was the last time you were in Newey?
God, I can't remember. It would be when, I mean, we would have done a show there. I think, you know what? I think it's probably the last time Preachers headlined, which was in 2018.
At the Cambo.
Yeah.
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 5 years ago.
That was before Cal and I got together, right? And he's still got the tour poster up in his room from that. So cute.
Those are the sweetest.
Yeah.
Yeah, Newey will always hold a special place for me because that's, you know, that was where Preachers got our start pretty much.
Yeah. Right.
No one gave a shit about us in Sydney, but we did this trip up to Newcastle and we did 3 shows. We played at the Great Northern, and then word kind of traveled around the town. Maybe like 2 people saw us and they're like, you got to see the Preachers. And then we played at the Lasso Gallery, this huge show. People just flooded in, and we'd never experienced that before.
Wow.
And then we played a 3rd gig, but I can't remember where it was, somewhere else. And then we returned sort of victorious back to Sydney. We were like, yeah, we're a real rock band now. I fully felt like that. So Newcastle was the first place that we felt identified, you know?
Yeah.
It was great.
That is so cool. I had no idea about that.
I'll always love you guys for that.
Yeah, I had no idea about that. I'm just picturing you guys playing the Lass. That's really funny. And the Great Northern, not funny, but it blows my mind. We don't really see bands of that level come through.
You know what else is funny is that gig we did at the Lass was a lineup put on by my friend Holly Rankin, who is Jack River.
Yeah.
And it was her band, her old band, a horse named Desire, I think it was called. Oh, we all had the most terrible band names.
Bring back a horse named Desire.
Horse named Desire. Before she became Jack River.
Yeah, wow.
And yeah, I think we supported her, or she supported us. I can't remember.
Do you know if that is still out on the internet? The music from A Horse Named Desire?
Maybe.
I'm going to go do a deep dive after this. Got to go listen to that. That sounds really interesting. Anyway, thank you so much for spending some time with me. It's been awesome to see your face, and we'll see you on Thursday.
Thanks, Bon.
Thanks.
See you there.